So right now we are at the AMD booth at Gamescom 2014, and right now I have two guys from Raptr over here. So who are you? What are you doing?
My name is Fong. I'm the CEO of Raptr.
My name is Garth Chouteau. I'm the Vice President of Communications.
Okay, and what does Raptr exactly doing?
So Raptr, which AMD customers would know as a gaming evolve client, our goal is very, very simple. Our goal is simply to make gamers' life easier. At a very high level, what we try to do is for gamers, what we found was that 85% of PC gamers never touch their settings. So that means 85% of gamers are not getting a great experience when they play. So first and foremost, we want to try to solve that by figuring out what the optimal settings are for your particular hardware configuration and the games that you're playing. That has some similarities for NVIDIA users to the GeForce experience. The one difference between Raptr is that we, number one, we actually use data to figure out what the optimal settings are, rather than doing hand-tested. And so we believe with 30 million members of Raptr, and hundreds of millions of game sessions that we're recording performance on, that using data, we can figure out what the best settings are in a more efficient and accurate way than a test lab. The second thing that makes us a little bit unique as Raptr is that we support both NVIDIA cards and AMD cards. We don't really discriminate between which video card that you use.
Okay, you told about video capturing. How does it work? What does it bring you?
So the advantages of our GVR, which is short for Game Video Recorder, is that we leverage hardware acceleration to record video. So anyone that's familiar with Fraps as an example, Fraps being probably the most popular video recorder today. The problem with Fraps, of course, is that it slows down your PC a lot when you're recording. We see anywhere between 20 to 30% FPS drop when you use Fraps on average, but it can go as high as 50 or 60%. With the Raptr GVR, you can actually record video with almost zero performance loss. So we average 1 to 2% FPS drop when using Raptr's video recorder. So it makes us probably the most efficient, resource-efficient video game capture recorder in the world. The only other equivalent for NVIDIA cards would be obviously Shadowplay, which does a great job as well. But as I mentioned, Raptr supports both NVIDIA and AMD cards. So, for the hardcore gamers, I have a lot of friends that are asking for a recommendation on a video capture tool. They don't have to ask them beforehand whether they're using an AMD card or an NVIDIA card. They can just recommend Raptr, which does it very, very efficiently.
So for optimization, what's your main goal? Is it reaching 60 FPS with low settings, or like 30 FPS with ultra high settings?
So our goal, what we found is actually the industry standard, especially when you look at the Xbox and PlayStation, is that they try to target between 30 frames per second and 60 frames per second. And they found that that was kind of ideal for most gamers. Obviously, the really hardcore enthusiasts might prefer something else. But as I mentioned, 85% of gamers leave their settings at default. So what we do is we try to target by default 45 frames per second. So we try to make the game look as beautiful as it can while maintaining 45 frames per second. Now, it's ultimately user configurable, so if the user prefers the game to look even more beautiful, they can turn it down to target 30 frames per second, or if they like it to be, for the game to run more quickly and more smoothly, they can change it to 60 frames per second, and our program adjusts accordingly.
So you have a user base of around 30 million people. If I'm overclocking my card, does it adjust to the overclocking to get like one time more MSAA, or is there any problem with this?
So it may, if you're overclocking your video card, I'm not sure how many people are actually doing that. So part of the benefit, and sometimes a slight, well, it's not really a disadvantage, but it takes time for us to have enough data points within the 30 million gamers to make a recommendation on a card. So part of the benefit, of course, is that it learns on the fly, right? It's automatic. So we take into account you've overclocked your video card, the video card that you have, the game that you're playing. If there are a lot more people like you that have overclocked their cards, the system can learn from that and make that an accurate recommendation for you. But it's, it requires enough data points in order for it to adjust.
So what's the goal for Raptr in this or in the next year? Do you want to reach, for example, double the users, or what are you targeting?
Yeah, so we're at about 30 million users that are using our software today. We're adding about 2 million new users every single month. So hopefully we can double by next year. It's almost going to double that. Our goal with Raptr is a little bit greater than just pure technology, right? So, we've designed with our video game capture an amazing capture tool, but that's equivalent to a great camera. We've built an experience, capturing the video is only step one for us. We also want to make it easier for people to share those videos with their friends that they've recorded. So we built instant replay feature in Raptr that saves, when you hit a hotkey, it saves the last 15 seconds. Even though you can configure it to save up to the last 20 minutes. We try to teach people to save only 15 seconds because we believe 15 seconds is an ideal time to capture some amazing moment that happened. And it's not too long that your friends might be too busy to go watch a 5-minute video that you send them. So we've built a whole social experience, kind of like Instagram, but around your game footage that you've recorded. So you can, with one click, upload to your YouTube channel, hashtag it with a bunch of funny comments, and that video that you saved 2 minutes ago while you're playing is now live and on the web for your friends to watch, within 15 seconds of that.
But part of the point might be, now that we can record your gameplay video all the time with no performance loss, why not be recording all the time? And then you have the ability to sort of go back in time in the game and capture those Leroy Jenkins moments even after they've happened.
Okay, thank you both.
Cool, thank you so much.